This happened about a month ago. I decided to take a trip to see my friend for the first time. We met through a mutual friend that met him through playing Xbox during the good old days. His name was Josh, and at first, we were not awfully close. Then he added me on Snapchat and we talked for a while. Eventually, we introduced him to other friends, and we made a chat on Instagram for memes and stupid shit. Josh likes rap, so we grew closer from that. We even tried to make our own music once, but that's a different story. Josh reached out to me and see if I could come for a week to see the sights and around where he lives. Since now we are both adults in college, or university as they call it there. He had found a cheap flight and sent me the link. I said fuck it. Plus, Josh had a forest behind his old elementary school that was creepy to stay at night. We were into that. Once I got there, I got in his car and we started the drive. Okay, bro, I'm so hyped to go in the woods. I got coke. It's gonna be like the old high school days, Josh chimed. I didn't necessarily approve of his drug use, but he went clean a while ago, so this was fine. He pulled into the parking lot and stepped out of his car. So, what's the legend you keep talking about? I asked. He had talked about the history of the forest. It's mostly grade 2s just making up retarded stories about some monsters in the woods or some dumb shit. Nothing to really worry about, he explained. We made it into a clearing where a small group of people our age were sitting around a fire pit with pokers and marshmallows. Yo, you guys want some fucking beans? Said Dan, one of Josh's friends. Beans was an inside joke. Josh and I bellowed some laughter before going over and sitting with the rest of the people. Welcome to Brampton, some girl I didn't know said. She pulled out a large bottle of vodka. The group exclaimed. I've got the good shit, shouted Josh as he pulled a small plastic baggie that I could only assume was coke. Dan turned on some music and the party started. As people started lighting up joints and hitting some of Josh's blow, the girl came over. My name is Cassie. It's nice to meet you, Caden. Josh talks a lot about you. She beamed with a perfect smile. Really? We met online. We literally haven't seen each other in person before, I questioned. Yeah, she said. She took a swig of her vodka. Now, I am not much of a people person, and even more when talking to an attractive girl, so I tried to ask her a question. We spoke at the same time. You go first, she said. So, how do you know Josh? I asked. We went to high school together, but we've been friends since elementary school. How about you? She explained. I met him through a mutual friend that also met him online, I answered. We talked for a while about school and other things. Cade, can you help me with this tent? Josh yelled. The tent poles snapped back into Josh's shit. Fucking piece of shit, Josh cursed. Here, I set up the tent first try. My dad and I camp a lot, so I know how to do it easily. Thanks, bro, he said. When people started to leave, Josh and I began to get ready to sleep. Go on ahead, I'm gonna watch the stars for a while, I said. He was vaping, so I let him alone. When I got in my sleeping bag, I couldn't fall asleep. I tried and tried. Eventually, I started drifting to sleep. I heard a crunch. I saw a shadow outside my tent. Josh, I groggily said. No response. Josh was in the tent with me. What? He moaned. Nothing, never mind, I said. Then there was a shadow outside of the tent. I hid under the covers because I'm scared out of my mind. The tent zipper opens and I can hear them walking over me. They pull over my sleeping bag and I realize it's Cassie. Hey, come with me. I want to show you something, she whispered. You scared the shit out of me, I whispered, laughing. I followed her back on the path and after a while we came to a parking lot where she had a big camper. This is yours? I asked. Yes and no. I may have stolen it for the weekend while my parents were away, she said. It's amazing, I said. She opened the door and we went inside. You can probably guess what happened next, so I'll just shorten it. After we were done, we heard a loud scream. I ran all the way back to the tent and I saw Josh standing outside the tent, terrified. It's not a fucking tree, he said over and over. I thought at first he was just high, but then I saw where he was looking. If you saw a glance of it, you would realize you'd mistake it for a telephone pole or a tree, like Josh said, but if you looked for a while, you would realize that it had a fleshy outer gray layer, and it was at least 2 feet taller than the rest of the trees. It almost looked like Slender Man if you forgot his suit and tentacles. Instead, there was a long, slender pole that had two loudspeaker type things attached to it. It was emitting some very strange noises, similar to a weather alert siren. No one said it. We just did it. We ran. Or at least Josh and I did. Cassie just stood there. She's calling me. My sister is calling me, she kept saying over and over. I was so scared that I kept running, and Josh unlocked a car and we peeled away. We stayed at Josh's house until morning. I then decided to go home, well, because we never found out what happened to Cassie. Josh explained to me that her sister had gone missing in those woods when they were in elementary school. They had never found a body. The grade 2s had made up stories about a monster in the woods that had taken her sister. When she kept telling Josh about how they kept hearing her sister from the woods, we both knew that she wasn't lying. The next day, Cassie was reported missing. They searched and searched but never found a body, same as her sister. If you're ever in the Brampton area, don't go in the woods. A fun camping night is not worth your life. Don't follow a voice in the woods. Even if it's some you lost, it isn't them.